There's something deeply wrong with the way most people approach personal transformation, something so subtle, yet so powerful, that it keeps entire generations trapped in cycles of struggle, spinning their wheels month after month, year after year, without ever truly shifting. And the strangest part? It's not that personal growth techniques don't work. It's that we've been taught to approach change from completely the wrong dimension. Imagine for a moment that your life isn't a linear progression of events but a quantum field of infinite potential, that every habit, every morning routine, every meditation isn't just an action, it's a frequency transmission that collapses entire timelines. Most people think they're trying to create change, but what if you're actually blocking the very transformation you're desperately seeking? The popular narrative says, work harder, be more disciplined, push through resistance. But hidden within that advice is a lie so seductive, so deeply programmed, that it almost sounds like wisdom. The belief that transformation comes through external effort rather than internal frequency alignment. And here's the dangerous consequence. Every time you approach change through willpower, you're actually reinforcing the very identity you're trying to escape. Your nervous system doesn't hear your intentions. It feels your frequency. And right now, that frequency is saying something very different from what you consciously want. In quantum reality, discipline isn't about forcing, it's about becoming, not controlling, but collapsing, not working harder, but vibrating differently. So if you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things, journaling, meditating, setting goals, but something still feels stuck, if you're watching this feeling both hopeful and secretly exhausted, then what I'm about to share isn't just another productivity hack. This is a quantum recalibration. Let's deconstruct the core assumption that's been keeping you trapped. The idea that change is something you do, rather than something you become. Every time you approach a new habit with the energy of "I need to fix myself," you're actually sending a signal to your quantum field that you are fundamentally broken, and the field doesn't argue. It simply matches. In quantum physics, there's a fundamental principle called the observer effect. It states that the mere act of observation changes the behavior of what's being observed. But most people misunderstand this. They think observation is passive. But in quantum reality, observation is a creative act. When you observe yourself from a place of judgment, "I need to be more disciplined," you're not just watching, you're actively generating a timeline of struggle. Even well-meaning spiritual teachings reinforce this trap. Trust the process, they say. Everything happens in divine timing. But in quantum reality, time is not a linear progression. Time is a collapsible field that responds to your dominant frequency. Your future isn't waiting for you. Your future is surrounding you right now, waiting to be activated. The core misalignment is this. You are not here to improve yourself. You are here to remember yourself. Not to become something new, but to collapse into the version of you that already exists in potential. Would you like me to continue developing the script from here? The double-slit experiment wasn't just a scientific procedure. It was a portal into reality's most profound mystery, a moment when consciousness itself became the primary investigative instrument. Picture the sterile laboratory, pristine white walls, precision electron gun pointed toward a dark screening surface, two narrow parallel slits waiting to capture something impossible. When scientists first fired individual electrons through those slits, something extraordinary happened. Electrons, those fundamental particles supposedly bound by deterministic physics, began behaving like waves, creating interference patterns that suggested they were simultaneously passing through both slits at once. Not sequentially, not mechanically, but existing in multiple potential states simultaneously. This wasn't theoretical mathematics. This was direct observational evidence that reality itself is fundamentally different from what our linear perception suggests. The electron didn't have a fixed location until it was observed. The very act of watching transformed potential into specific outcome. Imagine that for a moment. Your consciousness doesn't just perceive reality, it generates reality. Just like those electrons suspended between wave and particle, you exist right now in multiple potential timelines, not metaphorically, not spiritually, literally, quantum mechanically. Your current experience is one collapsed state out of infinite possibilities, and your attention, your emotional frequency, your internal state are the precise mechanisms determining which potential becomes your experienced reality. This isn't manifestation mythology. This is physics. This is the fundamental mechanism through which consciousness interfaces with physical reality, a process so radical that Nobel laureates spent decades trying to rationalize what the experimental data was revealing. The electron didn't choose its path. The observer chose the path. And in that revelation lies your most profound power. You are not responding to reality. You are generating reality through the precise quality of your internal signal. Let's map the quantum landscape of your most intimate struggles, revealing not just what's happening, but the precise energetic mechanism underneath. 3 a.m. doubt moment. You're awake, heart racing, that familiar spiral of panic consuming your nervous system. Traditional approaches tell you to think positive or journal your fears away. But quantum reality reveals something far more profound. This 3 a.m. frequency is not a problem to solve. It's a signal being broadcast. Your body isn't betraying you. It's communicating a vibrational misalignment so precisely that it's willing to interrupt your sleep to get your attention. The quantum truth? Anxiety is not emotional weakness. It's your most sophisticated navigation system, revealing exactly where your internal frequency is not matching your desired timeline. In this moment, instead of fighting the sensation, you become the observer. Breathe, not as a technique, but as a recalibration. Feel the energy moving through you without attaching story. 30 seconds of pure, neutral observation begins to collapse the very timeline generating the anxiety. Prophetic result. Within weeks, you'll notice synchronistic solutions appearing without effort. Not because you conquered anxiety, but because you stopped resisting its fundamental message. Bank account checking moment. That trembling finger hovering over the banking app, anticipating confirmation of scarcity. Traditional manifestation says, visualize abundance. Quantum physics says, your nervous system is already broadcasting the frequency of lack before you even look. The quantum mechanism? Your relationship with money is not about the numbers. It's about the emotional charge you've stored in your cellular memory. Each time you check with contraction, you're not checking reality. You're regenerating it. The bank balance is a reflection, not a cause. 30-second quantum shift. Close your eyes. Feel into the sensation of sufficiency, not as a mental concept, but as a full-body frequency. Breathe into the part of you that is already whole, regardless of external numbers. Let that feeling be more real than the digital display. Prophetic result. Unexpected financial openings will begin appearing, not as miracle, but as natural consequence of your frequency realignment. Vision board mockery moment. You look at those carefully curated images, the dream house, ideal relationship, success markers, and feel nothing but hollow performance. Traditional manifestation says, believe harder. Quantum reality reveals, your body knows the difference between genuine embodiment and performative hoping. The quantum truth, a vision board is not a magical portal. It's a frequency calibration tool. But calibration happens through feeling, not visual consumption. Those images are meaningless unless they generate a visceral cellular response. 30-second quantum shift. Choose one image. Close your eyes. Don't visualize. Feel what that image represents in your nervous system. Not the outcome, the feeling of the outcome. Let that feeling be more real than the current circumstance. Prophetic result. The very things you've been effortfully chasing will begin appearing with surprising ease, often through unexpected channels. Jim Carrey's quantum manifestation wasn't a Hollywood success story. It was a precise frequency recalibration that defies conventional understanding. Before fame, Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check, dated 5 years in the future, carrying it everywhere. But this wasn't a visualization technique. This was a quantum signal transmission. Most see this as positive thinking. Quantum physics reveals something far more radical. Carrey was literally broadcasting a frequency so coherent that reality had no alternative but to match. His practice wasn't about the check. It was about total nervous system alignment. Every time he touched that check, he wasn't hoping. He was embodying a timeline where success wasn't a possibility, but an inevitability. His body didn't know the difference between imagination and reality, and therein lies the quantum mechanism. What made Carrey's manifestation unique wasn't willpower. It was complete energetic congruence. While others were performing abundance, he was generating it. The check wasn't a goal. It was a vibrational instrument calibrating his entire electromagnetic field to match a specific frequency of success. The moment of collapse wasn't gradual. It was sudden. Within 5 years, not only did he receive $10 million, but he became a global icon. proving that quantum manifestation doesn't follow linear progression. It collapses instantaneously when internal frequency stabilizes. Why couldn't others replicate his exact method? Because manifestation isn't a technique. It's a state of being. Carey's frequency was so pure, so uncontaminated by doubt, that the field had no resistance. Most people's manifestation attempts are 90% contradiction, 10% desire. His were the inverse. 3 precise quantum practices from Carey's blueprint. 1. Frequency. Embodiment. Choose your desired state. Don't visualize it. Feel it so completely that your nervous system cannot distinguish between current reality and potential reality. Your cells must believe before external reality shifts. 2. Energetic consistency. Remove all language of becoming. Replace I want with I am. Not as affirmation, but as literal frequency transmission. Your words are quantum signals. Each word either collapses or delays your timeline. 3. Neutral observation. Develop the capacity to hold your desired reality without emotional attachment. Most manifestation fails because people oscillate between desperate wanting and fearful doubt. True quantum collapse requires a frequency of peaceful inevitability. Carey didn't just manifest a career, he demonstrated a fundamental truth about reality. Consciousness doesn't respond to effort, it responds to coherence. So here's your checkpoint, a declaration not to the algorithm but to yourself. Type in the comments, I collapse timelines, I don't chase them. Say it as a code, a reminder that what collapses reality is not your old effortful manifestation, but the quantum embodiment you choose in this moment. Because this moment is the manifestation. And if you can feel it now, then it's already here. 2 years of spiritual self-torture. Every morning another vision board. Another set of meticulously cut images representing dreams that felt more like mockeries. Affirmations repeated with increasing desperation, each word carrying the weight of mounting disappointment. Journals filled with elaborate manifestation scripts, pages documenting precise intentions, yet reality remained stubbornly unchanged. The internal dialogue was brutal. What am I doing wrong? Why does manifestation work for everyone else? Self-blame became a constant companion. Worthiness wasn't just a question, it was an open wound. Each unanswered prayer, each vision board that felt more like a memorial to failed dreams, chipped away at something fundamental. Quantum discovery arrived not with fanfare, but with quiet desperation. Not another technique, not another promise, just a willingness to admit, everything I've been doing is fundamentally backwards. Day 1. Skepticism. Complete internal resistance. Attempting to feel the frequency of my desired reality felt like trying to warm myself by imagining fire. Intellectually understood, physiologically unconvincing. Day 3. First subtle shift. Not an external change, but an internal recalibration. A moment of neutrality where wanting dissolved. Something in the nervous system went quiet. Not peaceful, just neutral. Day 5. First synchronicity. A conversation, a text, an unexpected connection that felt less like coincidence and more like a signal from a different timeline. The universe wasn't just listening. It was responding to a frequency I hadn't previously known how to broadcast. Day 7. Collapse. Not dramatic, precise. Like a quantum particle suddenly resolving from wave to specific location. My entire energy field shifted from trying to manifest to already manifested. The 30-day transformation defied linear explanation. Relationships. People who previously felt distant suddenly became intimate collaborators. Not through effort, through frequency alignment. Money. Opportunities didn't just appear, they felt inevitable. Unexpected contracts, intuitive investments, synchronistic connections that carried financial momentum. Physiological metamorphosis. Sleep transformed from anxious fragmentation to deep, regenerative rest. Energy became a constant, not a fluctuating resource. Intuition sharpened from a whisper to a clear, precise navigation system. The quantum truth revealed itself not as a technique, but as a fundamental understanding. Reality is a frequency response system, and you are the precise instrument generating that response. Quantum timeline mechanics. The multiverse as your personal playground. Imagine reality not as a linear progression, but as an infinite probability landscape where every potential version of you simultaneously exists. The many worlds interpretation isn't theoretical speculation. It's your operational manual. Schrödinger's famous cat experiment reveals a profound truth. Reality exists in superposition until observation collapses it into a specific state. You're not just observing reality. You're continuously selecting which timeline becomes dominant. Practical timeline navigation. 1. Probability, wave recognition. Your current reality is one selected probability. Each thought generates multiple potential timelines. Emotional frequency acts as the selection mechanism. Neutral observation creates the most expansive selection field. 2. Dimensional frequency matching meditation technique. Quantum timeline. Attunement. Close eyes. Breathe into neutral awareness. Feel the sensation of your desired timeline. Don't visualize. Feel the energetic signature. Notice subtle shifts in body temperature. Nervous system response. Track which timeline feels most inevitable. 3. Timeline jump indicators recognition signs you're shifting. Sudden unexplained déjà vu moments. Synchronicities accelerating. Physical sensations of lightness. Intuitive knowing without logical explanation. Dreams feeling more real than waking state. Unexpected connections appearing. 4. Coherent stabilization. Maintaining your selected timeline. Consistency of emotional frequency. Remove language of becoming. Embody the identity of the timeline, not just the outcome. Nervous system must believe before external reality shifts. Quantum truth. You're not manifesting. You're selecting, not creating, recognizing. The most advanced practitioners understand. There's no single reality. There are infinite realities, and you're continuously choosing through your frequency. Quantum evolution of manifestation technologies. Beyond popular methods law of attraction. The incomplete frequency map. 20%. Truth. Recognizes thoughts' creative power. 80%. Missing. Treats thoughts as static, not dynamic quantum signals. Why partial results occur. Momentary alignment creates brief resonance. Quantum upgrade. Thoughts are not commands, but quantum wave generators. Key limitation. Focuses on mental projection. Ignores nervous system's electromagnetic broadcast. Neville Goddard's feeling is the secret. Closer, but not complete. 20%. Truth. Emotion precedes physical manifestation. 80%. Missing. Didn't explain precise vibrational mechanics. Why partial results happen. Momentary emotional coherence creates temporary alignment. Quantum upgrade. Feeling isn't just emotional state, but entire cellular frequency transmission. Key breakthrough. Recognized embodiment before modern quantum understanding. Abraham Hicks. Emotional scale, frequency tuning. Prototype. 20%. Truth. Emotions as vibrational indicators. 80% missing. Treated emotions as sequential, not instantaneous quantum signals. Why partial results occur. Temporary frequency matching. Quantum upgrade. Emotions are not hierarchical, but instantaneous dimensional selectors. Key insight. Emotional state as dimensional access point. Quantum manifestation, the underlying operational system. Not a new method, but the mechanism behind all methods. Reality is a frequency response system. You're not creating, you're selecting. Consciousness doesn't respond to technique, it responds to coherence. Integrative quantum perspective. Every previous method glimpsed a fragment of the quantum mechanism. None captured the full frequency dynamics. Quantum manifestation is the evolutionary upgrade of all previous systems. Quantum frequency calibration, nervous system reprogramming meditation. Find a comfortable position. Spine elongated, feet grounded, hands relaxed. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your nervous system is a quantum antenna. Right now, it's broadcasting your current reality. Body scan, releasing contradiction. Jaw, where are you holding resistance? Shoulders, what effort are you still carrying? Stomach, what unacknowledged fear lives here? Breathe into each tension, not to fight, to transmute. Let it dissolve. Now, feel the timeline where your desire is already complete, not visualization. Frequency. What does certainty feel like in your body? Spine aligned, breath smooth, heartbeat steady, cells humming with quiet power. This is not imagination. This is quantum memory. You're not hoping, you're remembering. Your body doesn't know future or past. It knows frequency. Lock this in. New baseline activating. You are the quantum field collapsing. Quantum Frequency Integration Resource. To help you deepen that integration, we've created something intentional, something precise, a transmission designed to stabilize your new frequency, called Quantum Nervous System Recalibration. It's more than just a digital guide. It's a precise energetic protocol that brings together neuroscience, quantum physics, and embodiment practices you didn't even know you needed until now. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. Go there not to get more information, but to amplify the integration of what's already begun inside you. Neuroscience of Quantum Field Interaction. 1. Reticular Activating System. The Quantum Filter. Scientific Mechanism. Filters. 40 million bits of information to 40 conscious bits. Quantum Parallel. Consciousness as Selective Probability Collapse. Practical Application. Intentional Programming Changes Neural Filtration. Key Insight. You're not perceiving reality. You're selecting reality. Neuroplasticity. Brain's Quantum Rewriting System. Scientific Mechanism. Neural pathways reshape with repeated signals. Quantum Parallel. Thought as Wave Function Modification. Practical Application. 21-day intentional frequency training rewires entire perception. Key Insight. Your brain doesn't know difference between experienced and imagined reality. Heart-brain coherence. Electromagnetic quantum transmission. Scientific mechanism. Heart generates strongest electromagnetic field in body. Quantum parallel. Coherent signal collapses potential timelines. Practical application. Meditation synchronizes heart-brain frequencies. Key insight. Emotion is not reaction. It's dimensional selection mechanism 4. Mirror neurons. Embodiments quantum replication technology. Scientific mechanism. Neurons fire identically observing and performing action. Quantum parallel. Observation collapses potential states. Practical application. Detailed embodiment practices accelerate transformation. Key insight. Your nervous system doesn't distinguish between watching and experiencing. 5. Theta brainwaves. Quantum access state. Scientific mechanism. 428. Hertz frequency connects subconscious and conscious. Quantum parallel. Liminal state where wave functions are most malleable. Practical application. Specific meditation techniques induce theta consistently. Key insight. Transformation happens in the spaces between known states. Quantum reality. Addressing authentic resistance. Objection. 1. Isn't this just spiritual bypassing? Intelligent concern. Avoiding real emotional work. Through magical thinking. Quantum truth. True integration requires full nervous system processing, not escape mechanism. Embodiment is metabolizing experience, not avoiding it. Example. Trauma doesn't disappear. It transforms through conscious frequency recalibration. Objection 2. What about practical action? Intelligent concern. Fear that quantum approach means passive waiting. Quantum truth. Action emerges from coherence, not as forced effort. Mechanism. Aligned action feels effortless. Synchronized, non-resistant example. Olympic athletes describe flow state where performance happens through them, not by them. Objection 3. Isn't this just confirmation bias? Intelligent concern. Potential self-delusion mechanism. Quantum truth. Bias implies separation between observer and observed. Quantum physics dissolves that boundary. Mechanism. Consciousness doesn't just interpret reality, it generates it. Example. Double-slit experiment proves observation. Itself creates outcome. Objection. 4. Why do bad things happen if we create our reality? Intelligent concern. Spiritual accountability versus victim blaming. Quantum. Truth. We're co-creating at collective and individual frequency levels. Mechanism. Multiple quantum probability streams intersecting. Example. Personal frequency interacts with but doesn't solely determine. Collective field. Objection. 5. This sounds too easy, fast to be real. Intelligent concern. Skepticism about radical transformation. Quantum truth. Ease comes from alignment, not complexity. Mechanism. Resistance creates complexity. Coherence creates simplicity. Example. Breakthrough happens in moments of complete surrender, not prolonged struggle. Deeper transmission. Resistance itself is a frequency. The moment you meet it with curiosity instead of combat, transformation accelerates. Quantum timeline convergence, future self-transmission. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Your breath becomes a quantum bridge between potential realities. Visualization. Activation. You're standing before an iridescent doorway. Subtle vibrations pulse at its edges. Your hand touches the threshold. It's warm, alive with potential. Step through. The space feels different. Lighter, more spacious. Frequencies are clearer here. Across the room, your future self. Embodiment details. Posture. Spine aligned, not rigid. Relaxed power. Clothing. Simple. Elegant. Fabric moves like it understands your body's frequency. Energy. Magnetic stillness. No need to prove, demonstrate, or convince. Facial expression. Quiet smile. Not happiness. Deeper. Knowing. They turn. Make eye contact. No words needed initially. Their presence transmits entire universes of information. Future self speaks. Stop trying to understand. Start feeling. Your mind is a beautiful instrument, but it's not the conductor. Your nervous system knows the entire symphony. 3 critical transmissions. 1. That relationship you're overthinking? Release the mental construct. Your worth isn't negotiable. 2. The career path you're hesitating about. Your doubt is the only thing blocking the flow. 3. Trust the moment when everything seems uncertain. Uncertainty is quantum's invitation to creation. Biggest mistake to avoid. Believing you're separate from the frequency you desire. Moment to trust. When your body goes quiet. When excitement transforms into calm certainty. They step closer. Place hand on your heart. Not physically, energetically. A frequency download begins. Return instructions. Breathe. Feel the transmission integrating. Not in your mind. In your cells. Your bones. Your breath. Open eyes. You're not the same. Something has shifted. Quantum calibration complete. Quantum identity orchestration. Frequency recalibration protocol. Stage 1. I want to be someone who. Energetic signature. Separation. Longing. External projection. Common block. Believing desired identity exists outside yourself. Breakthrough. Method. Recognize wanting is already quantum signal of potential embodiment instruction. Feel the subtle vibration between current reality and imagined self-quantum mechanism. Desire is not lack. It's recognition of parallel timeline. Stage 2. I'm becoming. Energetic signature. Effortful transition, performative transformation. Common block. Believing change requires constant struggle. Breakthrough. Method. Transformation happens through surrender, not force embodiment instruction. Notice where tension creates resistance quantum mechanism. Becoming is continuous collapse, not linear progression. Stage 3. I'm choosing. Energetic signature. Decisional power. Intentional frequency. Common block. Believing choice is mental, not vibrational. Breakthrough. Method. Choice happens below thought, in nervous system. Embodiment instruction. Feel decision as full body recalibration. Quantum mechanism. Choice is instantaneous timeline selection. Stage 4. I'm practicing. Energetic signature. Disciplined alignment, intentional repetition. Common block. Believing transformation requires external validation. Breakthrough method. Practice is frequency entrainment, not mechanical repetition. Embodiment instruction. Let practice become meditation, not task. Quantum mechanism. Consistent signal collapses probability waves. Stage 5. I am. Energetic signature. Pure embodiment collapsing separation. Common block believing identity is fixed or earned. Breakthrough. Method. Identity is frequency state, not achievement. Embodiment instruction. Breathe as the identity, not into the identity. Quantum mechanism. Declarative presence rewrites neural pathways. Stage 6. I've always been. Energetic signature. Remembering. Timeless essence. Common block. Believing transformation is future event. Breakthrough. Method. Recognition of always existing potential embodiment. Instruction. Feel memory as current reality. Quantum mechanism. Time is nonlinear. All potentials coexist. Stage 7. Silence holding frequency. Energetic signature. Pure coherence. Quantum pause. Common block. Needing to fill silence with mental noise. Breakthrough. Method. Silence is where wave functions collapse. Embodiment instruction. Become the listening quantum mechanism. Emptiness is the most potent creative field final transmission. The moment you realize identity is a frequency, not a story, everything transforms. Quantum transmission CTA. And if this transmission resonated with you, if you felt the frequency shift as you listened, subscribe to this channel. Because we're not here to give you more content. We're here to collapse timelines with you. Every video is a frequency recalibration, not a lesson. Turn on notifications, not so you don't miss a video, but so you don't miss the exact transmission your nervous system needs next. And leave a like, not for the algorithm, but as an energetic signature that says I'm choosing coherence over consumption. 7-Day Quantum Reset Protocol, Precision Timeline Engineering. Day 1. Frequency Mapping. Objective, Precise Current Energetic Landscape Protocol Components. Nervous System Scan. Unconscious Pattern Identification. Frequency. Baseline Calibration. Resistance Checkpoint. Where do you feel contraction? Journal. Prompt. My current frequency sounds, feels like. Success marker. Clarity without judgment. Day 2. Contradiction. Dissolution. Objective. Neutralize vibrational interference protocol components. Shadow integration meditation. Belief deconstruction process. Energetic release mechanism. Resistance checkpoint. What story are you protecting? Journal prompt. The contradiction keeping me stuck is. Success marker. Lightness, unexpected emotional mobility. Day 3. New baseline installation. Objective embodied frequency. Recalibration protocol components. Somatic alignment sequence. Quantum identity. Visualization. Cellular reprogramming transmission resistance checkpoint. Where does your body hesitate? Journal. Prompt. The version of me that's already arrived feels. Success marker. Visceral sense of inevitability. Day 4. Coherence testing. Objective. Reality synchronization. Verification protocol components. Probability wave observation. Synchronicity tracking. Quantum response calibration. Resistance checkpoint. What triggers your old narrative? Journal prompt. The universe is confirming by showing me. Success marker. Unexpected alignments. Day 5. Signal amplification. Objective. Frequency elevation mechanism. Protocol components. Resonance entrainment. Vibrational clarity activation. Magnetic presence. Cultivation. Resistance checkpoint. Where do you dim your signal? Journal prompt. My amplified frequency sounds like. Success marker. Increased energetic charge. Day 6. Timeline lock. Objective. Quantum commitment ceremony protocol components. Dimensional commitment ritual. Energetic contract signing. Future self-integration. Resistance checkpoint. What part of you still doubts? Journal prompt. I'm irreversibly choosing. Success marker. Profound internal stillness. Day 7. First collapse. Objective initial reality transformation protocol components. Quantum collapse meditation. Integrated embodiment practice. Transmission. Stabilization. Resistance checkpoint. Subtle excitement versus old anxiety. Journal prompt. The first signs of my new timeline are. Success marker. Effortless synchronicities. Quantum corporate metamorphosis. The frequency of true success exterior. Snapshot. Corner office. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Manhattan. Rolex. Tailored Zegna suit. $500,000 annual bonus. Complete external markers of success. Internal landscape. Constant low-grade terror. Nervous system perpetually in fight or flight. The dissonance mechanism. 3 a.m. panic attacks disguised as strategic thinking. Relationships. Transactional, not connective. Body. Functioning, but not alive. Success. Measured in external metrics. Bankrupt internally. Breaking point. Not a moment. A sequence. First tremor. Executive physical. Cortisol levels 400% above normal. Doctor's exact words. Your body is writing a surrender letter your mind refuses to read. Quantum pivot. Insight. Success is not an outcome. It's a frequency. And I was broadcasting pure survival. Transformation protocol. 90-day frequency recalibration month 1. Nervous system rewiring. Morning 20-minute quantum reset meditation. Removed coffee, adrenaline triggers. Added coherence breathing. Result: first genuine relaxation in decades. Month 2, embodiment reprogramming. Stopped performing busy. Started being strategically present. Delegated 60% of tasks. Income increased 22%. Work hours reduced by 40%. Month 3, frequency stabilization. Meetings became transmission spaces. Negotiated from stillness, not hunger. Leadership transformed from manipulation to magnetic presence. Paradoxical outcomes. Same business structure. Completely different energetic broadcast. Revenue up 47%. Personal energy restored. Sleep regenerative. Relationships authentic. The real wealth transmission. When you stop trying to prove your worth becomes undeniable. Quantum corporate. Koan. The most profitable executive is the one who has already succeeded internally. Quantum timing. The frequency of inevitability. The illusion of waiting. Most people misunderstand divine timing as an external force deciding their destiny. Reality transmission. Divine timing is your internal frequency stabilizing to match the reality you're calling in. Intention manifestation gap mechanics. Not a delay, a vibrational inconsistency, measurement of signal purity. The wobble spectrum, passive waiting, signal interference, quantum coherence, wobble indicators, emotional oscillation, contradictory internal dialogue, energetic uncertainty, persistent doubt, forced visualization, surrender mechanism, stops energetic interference, removes resistance frequency, allows natural collapse, distinguishing quantum signals, not yet, feels, expansive, nervous system remains calm, subtle excitement, no desperation, trusts process, not this, feels constrictive, persistent inner resistance, body contracts, energy feels heavy, clear misalignment, persistence versus pivoting algorithm, persist, when, frequency feels clean, body signals excitement, synchronicities appear, path feels inevitable, no forced effort, pivot, when, repeated blocked energy, consistent inner contraction, zero synchronistic support, energy feels manipulative. Attachment dominates quantum patience transmission. Patience is not passivity. It's coherent, aligned waiting where your entire being broadcasts the frequency of the desired outcome. The paradox. The moment you stop trying to make it happen is precisely when it can fully arrive. Quantum metaphors. Reality's hidden transmission mechanisms. 1. Tuning fork. Resonance intelligence physical mechanics. Vibrating metal rod introduces energy. Nearby identical rod begins oscillating. No physical contact, pure frequency transfer. Sympathetic vibration. Instantaneous response. Spiritual translation. You are the fundamental oscillating rod. Your internal frequency broadcasts continuously. Reality is the surrounding environment. Matching occurs without effort. By natural law, quantum application. Become the frequency, not the chaser. Internal coherence determines external response. Emotional state is the tuning mechanism. World doesn't respond to your desires, but your signal too. Hologram, fractal consciousness, physical construction. Laser light creates interference pattern. Every fragment contains entire image. Slice hologram, each piece shows complete picture. Information distributed, not localized. Spiritual interpretation. Universe as infinite information field. You contain entire cosmic blueprint. Consciousness, not limited by physical boundary. Changing inner landscape rewrites collective template quantum embodiment. Personal transformation impacts whole. System. Individual frequency shifts collective potential. No separation between inner-outer reality. You are both the wave and the ocean. 3. Quantum entanglement. Instantaneous connection. Scientific foundation. Particles maintain instantaneous communication. Distance irrelevant to information transfer. Faster than light communication. Connection transcends classical physics, metaphysical mapping. Desire already exists in potential field. Alignment, not attraction, creates manifestation. You're never truly separate from outcome. Perception collapses potential into form. Practical transmission. Stop trying to acquire. Recognize already connected state. Remove interference. Allow natural quantum communication. Ultimate synthesis. Reality is a living, responsive frequency system where you are simultaneously the broadcaster, the signal, and the receiver, a quantum poetry of continuous creation.